Yeah, hi, Mike Ellis here. I wanted to give you a quick update on Unifii. Unifii is moving very, very quickly. We spent about 2 hours with the CEO of Unifii, and we're really, really excited about this program because of the marketing system we have. It really is moving quickly. Go ahead and take a look at this video. I think you're going to get a lot out of it, and you're going to see a way to move forward in cryptocurrency in a very positive way. So here you go.
Hey, everyone. Mike Klingler here with a follow-up to the Unifii program. You may recall I did a video with some skepticism, which I think is understandable from what I've been through and many of you have been through over the last 9 months in the cryptocurrency space. The reason why this is rather exciting is because I've learned some pretty monumental things that has shifted me in a big way on this, and I'm going to go over those really specifically. This is time sensitive. I'm going to try to be as brief as I can because I don't want you to miss it because I'm long-winded, and yet there's a lot to cover. So I'm going to do my best to move through it rather swiftly without missing anything important. We're building a matrix. I had mentioned that before, but I had some concerns, and the concerns were some issues around FTC compliance, and more importantly, SEC compliance. I've got quite an extensive understanding of the issues, but there are some things I wasn't aware of that I am aware of after talking with the CEO of Unifii. And I'm also extremely impressed on the product. And again, the main part that I'm looking for is the cryptocurrency education for newbies, but it's so much bigger than that. And that really impressed me. So I want to cover that. But I already, I think, if you've gone to the site, you've seen it's very well put together for something that hasn't launched yet. Usually they look pretty janky before they've launched. This is really well put together, and it's because of the experience that Ron Montaruli has, who I spoke with for a couple of hours, by the way. I spoke for many, many hours with their CMO, their head marketing guy. I was extremely impressed with him. And then I was also extremely impressed with Ron. I'm going to cover why. Like, I did not expect this. In fact, when I met Ron in that first meeting, he was a little put off by my first video because for those of you who saw it, I was pretty skeptical. And he had said he would have liked to have spoken with me first before putting that out there, which I totally understand. But I explained to him, I'm doing these reviews and I'm coming at it from a very skeptical, cautious position. I don't have time to meet with all of the owners and CEOs early on. Had I known what I know now, I would have approached it very differently because this is an extraordinary person. I was very impressed with Ron and a very unique situation. And I'm going to try to communicate that to you. I tried to leave it open for that. I always try to do that, but I had legitimate concerns and I wanted to communicate those. And again, I'm going into looking because most cryptocurrency opportunities are crap. And that was something I knew even 9 months ago coming into the market, but I'm an influential marketer and I made a big mistake 9 months ago because I came to the market green behind the ears. And so I'm just overly cautious, but I'm telling you, this thing is different. I'm extremely excited about it, and I feel very fortunate. One of the concerns I had was, and this is actually a screenshot, was the showing of estimated earnings. So he addressed that. I'm going to talk about that, and it makes complete sense. And then, that was an FTC concern, which was the least of my concerns, but nonetheless, I mentioned it, and I want to address that issue. And then the bigger issue for me was how the SEC was going to interpret this. Is it giving financial advice with the daily signals and the live signals where they're literally telling a couple of the products are letting people know, possible good buys in the marketplace and so forth. So he addressed that very, very well. I'm going to address that today. But first, I just want to talk about my conversation with him that I had just the other day on Friday. And again, at least a couple of hours. He was very generous with his time. I got some things I want to say here that they just kind of have that they have on their About Us page. And then I want to talk about my personal, feelings about the conversation because I think it's really important. And I want to relate it to mistakes in character I've made in the past with a particular opportunity that I took part in last fall, my first cryptocurrency opportunity. For those of you who don't know me, I've been extremely successful as a marketer for decades. Uh, Most people know me from the marketing and internet marketing arena, back, from the early 2000s. For those who don't, that's what I'm good at. But I came into cryptocurrency very late, and in my early development of it, ended up aligning with a company, and a lot of you probably heard of them, that I trusted. And because that, I ended up losing months of time and huge capital, and in directing my marketing to that, so turning others onto it, and I trusted the owners of that. But I never met them like I met Ron. I never talked with him like I talked with Ron. And so I want to really cover this. I think this is really big. And you guys will get to make this decision. Again, right now, you can get involved with Unifii at no cost because it's pre-launch. You can get a position, and then you can figure this out before they launch later this month. Uh, and you'll get to meet Ron. He's agreed to come onto a webinar, and you'll get to make these decisions for yourself. And I think that's what's really important. And in addition to that, I'm going to want to introduce you separately to their CMO, their marketing guy, who impressed me really well. Very different than anything I've seen in the crypto space so far. More in alignment with the most integrous network marketing companies, which there's only a handful of them in my experience. The leadership, with depth and with passion for helping people and being good communicators, and that's what I got from these guys, which I hadn't run into yet in the crypto space. Here's what they put out, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my take on my meeting with them. So this is Ron Montaruli, the CEO of Unifii. He has a strong understanding of traditional and digital financial markets, and I was deeply impressed with rather extensively things that he ran through, which I'll get into a little bit more when we talk about the educational product, because it's much more than just cryptocurrency. Very, very impressed. I put a little flag next to this. It states this on the About Us section, and I want to kind of drill down on this. Passionate, helping others learn how to profit in these markets. His passion for helping others came through loud and clear. I mean, just his beingness, who he is. He's definitely got his heart in the right place, and it's obvious. Again, I'll let you guys be the judge of that before you have to make any commitment to this whatsoever. I think that's really important. As an executive for two different billion-dollar global enterprises, has obtained a keen understanding for structuring and running global companies, creating momentum, and supporting global growth. While serving others in the direct sales industry, Ron, it's important he has this experience. Ron has had the privilege of leading organizations and developing culture in 26 different countries. In addition to his native English, he's also learned to speak French and Spanish, and it sounds to me like fluently. I mean, he broke into both French and Spanish just right on the fly, which matters, when you're developing other markets. It's a big help. But anyway, I just want to talk a little bit more about my impressions in connecting with him for so long. He came across to me as very generous as a human being, very empathy driven and compassionate, which is something I did not get and did never mention that I got from anyone else in the crypto industry space. It's just not what I felt before, and I never mentioned that. It's something that I get from him, and I'll let you be the judge of that. And for me, that's now a very important thing to feel, that the leadership of a company really, really cares on a personal level about what he's doing and the impact he's going to have. And he talked a lot, and so did the CMO, John, about the vision of the company and making a positive impact and very specific aims in that area, which I'll want to talk about with him for you guys to hear on a webinar before you have to make any kind of commitment with this thing. I want you to get a sense of who he is and the deeper, more empathy-driven, I think, aim that they have for the entire organization. Now, one of the big issues that I had that he addressed very well was this FTC concern that I had of, showing estimates. Nobody's paid any money yet, and there's these numbers in the back office. So if associates were to go out there and flash these numbers and use them as a marketing spiel. And it's okay for me to show you these numbers, but not if I'm showing them as a spiel for you to get in. Then it's an issue. And they have very strict rules around that. They both made that very, very clear. And in fact, they'll be removing some people as associates who did not follow those policies, who broke those rules before they launch. And you can tell in his demeanor about it, they're very strict on compliance. So, as long as somebody's not using something like this to promote it and making people think that these numbers represent what somebody's going to earn, then the FTC doesn't have an issue with it. So this is in the back office protected, password protected, and not to be used as marketing content. And that satisfied my concern with the FTC and their commitment to compliance in that department. It was clear to me that they understood it and that they were going to be strict on it. And that's important. My bigger concern that was really important that he helped me overcome was this, I mentioned earlier, the daily signals and the live signals, the SEC's concern of us making commissions, referring people to something that perhaps the SEC I was concerned with might consider financial advice because we're not financial advisors. And I saw this actually before I met him, but after I made the video, which addressed the concern, I spoke with them extensively about it. And this is great. I mean, this is something I was not aware of. And for those of you that were with USI, this may be bringing a flashback where everyone talked about, oh, this was the legal opinion of some random law firm in Chicago. Well, this is different. Here we're referencing an actual law. So this is rock solid for me. Of course, anything's possible in terms of interpretation, but that any state regulatory body might have. But I mean, this is as rock solid as it gets. And certainly no one can point fingers and say anyone was doing wrongdoing when you have a law. And let me just kind of read through this law that establishes what they're doing as publishers. And as a publisher, they qualify to be able to offer this kind of content and information without being construed as giving financial advice that would require that we be financial advisors. So check this out. Products and Services Regulatory Compliance. Unifii Corporation LLP is classified as a publisher of financial news and information, and therefore exempt from having to be considered as giving financial advice and for us to have to be financial advisors. This is an exemption provided in the U.S. Securities Investment Advisor Act of 1940. We provide financial research and information to the public. So you'll see a lot of subscription services that provide specific information on stock picks, all kinds of stuff, and they're all protected and they fall under that same category. So there's a huge precedence for this that we're all familiar with, and that totally makes sense. So it's information they're providing the public, but it is the big thing. It is completely at the discretion of the individual as to whether they will use the information or not. And it gives a quote: a publisher of any bona fide newspaper, news column, newsletter, news magazine, or business or financial publication or service, whether communicated in hard copy form or by electronic means or otherwise, that does not consist of the rendering of advice on the basis of the specific investment situation of each client. So that's the deal right there. I won't read more of it because that sums it up. The deal is, if we're totally protected by any concern or issue with SEC, as long as we're not giving specific advice to an individual that they should do this or they should do that, they should take a certain percentage, $40,000 of their portfolio and put it into this. Advice specific to them is what you cannot do, and we're certainly not going to be doing that. So this is fantastic, and this was a law I was not familiar with. So I'm excited about it. I mean, this is rock solid. Again, this is not some legal opinion from some random law firm that may or may not be right. This is an actual law. And when you take a step back and you realize just how many other companies, organizations, from newspapers to, it even covers, again, not just newspapers, magazines, but businesses, financial publications, or services. As long as they can give this information, as long as they're not giving specific advice to specific clients that are based on a specific situation to that client. Fantastic. So that left with, okay, the product, which, you know, I think it's fantastic. They have daily signals, which alerts us of awesome picks. Live signals, basically the same and faster. The altcoin report, fantastic. But what I'm most interested in is Prosperity U. And my initial excitement about it was it'd be fantastic for our system. You know, we have a marketing system, most of you know, generates leads, attracts people that are looking for generating cryptocurrency commissions through sustainable solid means to be able to build their Bitcoin and altcoin portfolio called Blockfolio. We were missing something. We were missing education for newbies. So I was excited about cryptocurrency education for newbies. And I am deeply impressed with the layers of organization and thought and depth that has gone into that. And to be able to address the newbies so that we have a solution for them to understand and learn what blockchain is, about investing, about the whole gamut, before just having them jump into like what we were, promoting before only. And our system will still have this, but Crypto World Evolution with the Autobot, that's a big leap for somebody who's brand new. And that's a big commitment. It's very scary, particularly in a bear market, to be in an Autobot. We need something for newbies to be able to generate cryptocurrency commissions without the fear of loss and then the roller coaster ride. They need to be educated. And so this is a fantastic product. And again, the way that it's organized and it is well thought out as it is, and because of his experience, because Ron's doing a lot of this, it is very impressive, but it goes even deeper. And this is the part that I didn't know that gets me really excited. It goes much, much deeper. They're going to continue to add to this beyond just cryptocurrency. So we're not just relying on the volatile market of cryptocurrency, but they're actually going to be expanding the product line. And it's all built to be able to allow for this, because organization of digital content is huge. And they're building their own proprietary, they got a Silicon Valley technology firm building this for them so that they can add blocks to this and add new digital products to this that expand outside cryptocurrency. It's very impressive. And because I've built complicated technology platforms before that were information based, I understand the complexity of it. And I knew that they knew what they were doing. And it's their CTO who's a rock star, their technology officer, that allows them to be able to pull all this off, because it is extremely difficult to be able to organize this information so it's easy to navigate. The user interface is good. Like, they know what they're doing. And that deeply impressed me. And they're going to expand. Like, let me just give you an example, just so you understand what I'm saying. So to teach people like how to know how to invest, not just in cryptocurrency, but with all kinds of different markets, and to have like an awareness can change everything. So as an example, setting up a trust, being able to leverage things that often the wealthy only have access to because most people just aren't aware of them. Pretty powerful stuff, life-changing stuff when you know this. So they're going to go way beyond just your, surface cryptocurrency education. They're going to go deep, but break it down for the newbie. And after meeting with them, I am convinced they have the technology know-how, but more so the communication skills to be able to accomplish that exceptionally well. So I'm extremely excited about it. It surpassed my expectations tenfold of what it needed to be for me to be excited about it. I can't say enough good about the experience I had in meeting both their CMO, which is their marketing guy, which I will introduce to you guys here soon in a webinar, but also Ron, the CEO. Both of them impressed me, and you'll get to meet him and make your own decision. There's no commitment between now and then other than just getting a free position and to learn a little bit more. And then when the time comes, you can make a decision if you want to be a part of this or not, but at least you'll have a position in here and you'll be part of the pre-launch. One of the big opportunities I'm providing to you guys is I'm willing to build you a funnel, a marketing funnel, to take advantage of the pre-launch. And it will be specific to the pre-launch. I'm putting this together now, and by Monday it will be ready. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And you don't have to pay for it I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Now, if you want to use our more comprehensive system after pre-launch is over, there might be a cost to you unless you're already in our team, but you can actually leverage this for free and get a system built for you now, right away, during pre-launch. I mean, again, if there's too many people coming at us and we're building them for free, there's a limit. I'm going to talk about the details of this, but we're going to do everything we can to include as many people as we can into taking advantage of this pre-launch, because I think it's an extraordinary opportunity. Those are just some screenshots of some of the systems we have up and running now, and we're going to keep building more. Those of you who are part of our group already, I'll talk with you as well at the end of this so you understand how we're going to move forward. And those of you who haven't been with us before, but you want to tap into our marketing funnel and our marketing and our help during pre-launch, which is only going to be like a week or two more, I'll let you know how you can plug into that as well. But ultimately, I just want to really emphasize, I encourage everybody at this point to definitely get a position with Unifii. If you were waiting for my follow-up, I was deeply impressed for the reasons that I've covered. For those who don't know what a marketing funnel is, like you drive traffic, you know, whether it's advertising or what I like to show people how to do now, more so what we're focused on now is free marketing using YouTube. And if you don't have a YouTube channel, we help you. And we've been helping a lot of newbies drive traffic to a lead capture page that we build for you. And then the automation starts working, you know, follow-up emails start going out, and content that I've created for you moves people through the process and learning about everything. Now, the first funnel that we build here in pre-launch for Unifii will be extremely simple, so we can get them built quickly. But then after Unifii launches officially, we'll build more comprehensive funnels, typical of what we usually do. And I'll talk more about that. So here's a snapshot. Nick Brown had created this, showing a more comprehensive view of what our funnels typically look like. I'm not going to go through it right now, but they're typically very comprehensive in design, but extremely simple for a prospect, and extremely simple for you because we build it for you. And then we like help you do the marketing to drive the traffic, free traffic. And now we're going to have an advertising funnel because Unifii allows for that, because it's going to be a great message, you know, cryptocurrency education and prosperity education, even beyond just cryptocurrency. It's beautiful. Signals and that, et cetera, altcoin reviews. Like, it's really, really powerful. And they're such good communicators, and they really know what they're doing with their user interface. In fact, you can tell that their site is extremely well designed already for a pre-launch company. It's just absolutely amazing. So anyway, our funnels are usually very, very comprehensive. We will not launch, or the pre-launch funnel for Unifii will not be this comprehensive, but then we will launch another version that I'll talk a little bit more about how that's all going to be set up. But for those that don't know what we're doing, I provide you the videos. You can see this one has 950 views, which I just posted like 2 days ago, so it's going to keep getting more views. This one has 17,500 views because I posted it quite some time ago. And where this little red line is where we put the link to the funnel. And I give those videos to the people who use our funnels, and then that drives traffic. Now, if you have a brand new YouTube channel, it will take a time for yours to start getting a lot of traction, but it's worth it. We're doing everything we possibly can, including teaching you how to. And you actually, it's amazing. People who've never done before, they're afraid to do videos. You don't have to be in the video, by the way. In fact, there's ways to do them where your voice doesn't have to be in them, but you'll be surprised how easy it becomes with our support. And you get to leverage the actual videos I'm giving you and just kind of supplement that so that YouTube sees your channel as unique. We help you through all this to generate free leads. And then you get a notification in your email box every time. I block the name and email, but to protect their privacy. But you get a message like this every time someone comes in through your lead capture page, which we build for you. And again, we're going to build one for pre-launch, even before Unifii is open, for as many views we possibly can. And here's just like, this is June 2nd, and it keeps going. Like, this is just a snapshot of community leads coming in. Like, it works, is my point. I just wanted to like really point out it works. These were all free leads that our community is generating, and so much more. I mean, that's just a little snapshot. On top of that, inside of our groups, we're helping people. I wanted you to see what Tristan wrote here just to give you a feeling of this. And this was just tonight. I mean, it's happening all the time. Hey guys, love to hear some feedback on this. My first video with me in it. See, because a lot of the people that we work with never did this before, never thought they could. But when you keep seeing the videos I'm giving you that you're posting, and then you start to get views and start to get some leads, even if it's just one lead, or you're seeing that others around you are when you're first getting your channel started, and you start to see the pattern, and I'm teaching all these strategies. It's not just about pumping out a bunch of videos like everyone thinks. Like, there's little strategies that are so cool that make YouTube effective at generating free leads that a lot of people just don't know. And as you learn this stuff and you're around all of us, you automatically get the confidence to give it a go to supplement the free, the content I'm giving you. He goes, probably a bit long, but I really wanted to get in a connection to me, and I wanted to provide some real value at the same time. And I actually didn't have a chance to listen to his yet. I mentioned that I'll give him some feedback in a couple of days, but some other people did. And it just gives you an example of just like how people have never done it before are stepping out and getting leads, getting free leads. And they're also getting my marketing videos and posting those as well. It's just you want some unique content on there so that YouTube doesn't see it as a complete copy. Here's Holly writes, done. It's only my second time doing a video, and it's short, but it feels good to get my own content out there. If any would like to take a look, and she did great. But I just wanted to show you that's also happening automatically. I want to come back to Unifii now and just mention it's free to get a position now in the matrix, and we build 3x3, so you could get a lot of spillover early, or you could get in now, and it depends where you fall. But I'm going to be plugging Unifii into our community system. So I don't want this to be like the only reason why you join, but it's hard for me to imagine how you wouldn't get spillover and benefit, maybe 3 months from now, 4 months from now, as we get this really cranking, and likely much sooner than that. I just don't want to overpromise on that because as it grows, and depending on when you're listening to this video, we need you to participate if it's really going to do extraordinarily well long term. I don't want to be overselling it on, I'm going to build the whole thing for you. But obviously, there's advantages to getting into something where we're building 3x3, and there's spillover built into the compensation plan, and it's in pre-launch, and it's not even open yet. Huge advantages there. That typically people don't get to hear about an opportunity this early that is so good. It's just really an unusual situation. I know I haven't. But I just want to let you know that after you got a position for free and you've simmered on this a little bit, maybe you come into the Facebook group and you get a funnel built for you, and you get on the webinar where I introduce you to Ron, the CEO, and the CMO, John, and you get a feel for this on your own, then you may decide that you want to participate. There's no commitment to do that now to get a position and start learning. But if you did, you could see that the cost is very low, which is one of the reasons why we chose this, $279.95 to get a position. I'm not going to talk about the compensation plan, but you could stop this and just kind of figure it out if you understand compensation plans. But it is an extraordinary compensation plan, and I will talk more about that. Generational bonuses, you could pause this and read this slide and certainly study this. But I will do more webinars on this topic of the compensation plan. I just don't want to get too deep. And then there's this matrix, which builds 9 levels deep, and it's quite extraordinary. And this is where I'm saying there are some huge advantages to getting into our team's matrix because of our marketing power and our community behind it. And I am plugging Unifii into our system, and I'm going to be focused on it because I think it's an extraordinary opportunity for the reasons that I talked about. I'm going to make this a heavy focus. So some big advantages for getting on our team, and likely you will benefit from the spillover, if not immediately, over the course of the next couple of months. I don't see how you wouldn't if you're hearing this video fairly early. I'm recording this on June 2nd. So I mean, if you're hearing this within the next few days and you get in, I just don't see how you wouldn't benefit, if not immediately, and some of you immediately, just depending on where you fall. And then I'm going to be filling in the holes and filling in the gaps to build by 3. So very likely, if not immediately, then over the next few months, as we keep focused on this, it's going to getting a benefit. I want you to participate. I don't want you just to wait for someone to build it for you, but yet that opportunity is there to get some spillover. It's just built that way. But I'm not going to go over the comp plan right now, but there are some really cool things where you have control over building that matrix. And just, it really is an ingenious plan. It's an ingenious opportunity on a lot of levels. Genius is simple and useful. And this just nails it. It's so simple. and it's so useful, including the price point. You saw it was 200. What was the exact price? Let me just make sure I don't get that wrong. So if you decided to do this, it's $279.95. So a lot of people can come into this, guys. It's built that way. And then it's $79.95 a month. So it's also residual, but low cost. It's just perfect for our system. And again, because of the depth of value that the education is going to have for not just those entering cryptocurrency, but beyond that, in financial education, it's something that I really can get behind and really believe can empower people in a big way. So I really encourage you, you're going to see a link if you're not already plugged into this thing. You're going to see a link in this email if you're reading this in an email or got an email, or you're going to see it under this video, a link that goes to the Unifii site, and you can sign up. There's a link in the upper right-hand corner, and you can also start referring people to this. You can send them to, your affiliate referral link, and then plug them in. And the way you plug them in is you plug them into, it's so simple. You plug them into a Unifii Facebook group. We'll plug you into that, and then you'd plug your people into that, and you let others just do the training for you during pre-launch. It's so simple. There's such good trainers in there. Let me focus, though, on how we can get you a funnel during pre-launch. Right now, we're doing what I'm calling the pre-launch. That's where we'll get you a really simple but effective funnel to build Unifii and start building your 3x3 during this time that it's free, completely free to get a position. So we're doing that right now, and I'll give a little more detail about that. Then sometime soon, sometime really soon, we're going to move into what I'm calling the pre-launch, which is when we're going to start building actual comprehensive funnels for those who want them. Now, the first funnels we build will be free for those that aren't with us yet. The comprehensive one takes a lot of time for us to build, and you'll learn a lot more about that before you decide if you even want it. But if nothing else, just plug into everything for free if you have to right now, then figure all that out if you want to make that bigger commitment later. And then there's the actual launch of the company, which sounds like it's going to come about 2 weeks or less. So we don't have a lot of time. But we're going to move quick here. Today's Sunday. Tomorrow, I believe, is June 4th. On Monday, let me check that real quick. Yeah, today's Sunday, June 3rd. So tomorrow, Monday, on June 4th, and on Tuesday, we're going to start making funnels for our elite members and our pro members. We'll start with the elites, then we'll move to pros. As long as you have a position in Unifii, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to email us or anything. As long as you're an elite member, those are people who had paid to use our system to help support all of this. We got to favor them, of course. Keep everything running. We got a big team to support all this. We're going to build our elite members and then our pro members funnels for Unifii. The simple, fast to build funnels just right now for pre-launch. So the videos I'm giving you for marketing and everything, guys, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, you're just going to put a link to the new funnel I'm going to give you so we can build this thing fast during pre-launch while it's free to get people in, get them plugged in. We'll get them plugged into the Unifii Facebook group, and then they'll be able to listen to the webinar I have with Ron and with John, and those that want to go running with us when this thing launches, then they can do so. So we want to build as much momentum as we can. So tomorrow, we're going to start building funnels for you guys that signed up in Unifii. Now, if you're not signed up with Unifii, we're not going to build you a funnel. But if you're an elite member or a pro member with us and you're in Unifii, we're going to start building you those funnels. Now, the rest of you, after we're done with that, sometime next week, I hope, if we can move fast enough, and I'm hoping we can, we're going to start making funnels for our free members, people that don't pay us, after our elite members and pro members are done. Now, you need to do something a little bit different. We do need to hear from you. First of all, you need to have a position on our team, which I think should be obvious. So you need to be somewhere in my Unifii organization, somewhere. Could be many levels down, but you need to be in our Unifii organization if you want a free funnel. Just costs us money. And you got to email Anna Peters, and you should email her right away. So you need to be signed up on our team, and you got to email Anna Peters and let her know, hey, I'm a free member. I'm gonna want a funnel, and then you get in line, and you email her to cryptoteamlife@gmail.com. So you can see this here. Don't misspell it. If she doesn't get your email, you're not going to get a funnel, and there's not a lot of time. cryptoteamlife@gmail.com. Sure to write that down correctly. Once you have a position on our team in Unifii, email her right away and let her know you would like the pre-launch free funnel. And as soon as we're done building our elite member funnels and our pro member funnels, which I think can be done by Tuesday, we'll start building the free funnels, just going down the list based on who got in and who emailed her first, second, third, fourth. And we're going to build these for you free to get this thing launched in a big way during pre-launch. Okay? So pretty big, exciting opportunity here. If you don't have a position yet, I strongly encourage you to go to the link that you either see in this video or I should say underneath this video, or in the email that you got, if you did get an email from us, if that's how you got to me here. Should be a link, and that's going to take you to a page that, that's Unifii's site, and then go sign up right here in the upper right-hand corner. And then if you're an elite member or a pro member, you'll be fine as long as you're signed up. But if you're not an elite member or pro member with us already, as long as you're on our team somewhere in Unifii, we'll build you a free funnel, but you need to email Anna Peters and let her know. And this week we're going to be working our tails off building these funnels. And basically it's going to be a lead capture page where I'm going to have a presentation. And then when they opt in, they're going to get an email, and that email is going to have your name and your link that goes to your sign up page in Unifii. And the page they land on after they enter their name and email will go to your Unifii page with your link embedded in it. We're going to do that for you for free. And then again, after launch is all over, we're going to build more comprehensive funnels for those that want them. And we'll talk more about that at that time. But right now we want to focus on this, pre-launch phase, basically, where really simple funnels before Unifii launches officially, where it's free to get a position, build as much momentum, get as many people educated about this program as possible. I'll have webinars, I'll have more training on the compensation plan. I'll introduce you guys to Ron so you can make your own decision about the CEO of this company, where you feel his intentions are at. And I'll introduce you to John, the CMO. There'll be a lot that you can learn before you have to make any kind of commitment whatsoever. I'm telling you, from my perspective, it's the best opportunity I've ever seen in my life. I don't know where it's going to end up. We don't have a crystal ball, but I'm extremely deeply impressed, and I'm highly motivated because of it. I really enjoyed my conversation with those two, and it's really what's been missing for me since I entered into the crypto space. Just people that really have a deeper, more caring, relationship with what they're doing. That's what I got out of it. I encourage you to get a position. Let us know if you want a funnel. If you're not already a elite or pro member, if you're with us already as an elite or pro member, you don't need to let us know. As long as you're in Unifii, we'll know and we'll get you signed in. We'll get you a funnel right away. But if you're not an elite member or a pro member, as long as you're in our Unifii team, let Anna Peters know at the email address I gave you a moment ago, and we'll build you a funnel as well as fast as we can before they actually launch, so we can get momentum. And we will help you with marketing. We will help you get this thing going. Then if you want to continue with us after launch, then you could decide to make that commitment at that time after you've met the CEO and everyone else and everything else, before you have to make any kind of commitment. Okay, guys, I think it's an exceptional opportunity. I encourage you to consider taking advantage of it. At least get a free position and pay attention between now and launch day, so you don't miss what I think could be kind of a lucky break, honestly. Success comes from hard work, persistence, getting back up when you fall down, moving through the mistakes and the rough times. But we all know that in that process somewhere are what appear to be lucky breaks. So things can happen now instead of 3 years from now. Personally, I see this as one of those opportunities. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. That's why I took the time to meet Ron. That's why I was skeptical going into it and really looking for, what could go wrong. and needing to get those things addressed, and it passed with flying colors beyond my wildest expectations, quite frankly. But I want you to be the judge of that. I will introduce you to Ron. As I said, I will introduce you to the CMO. I will talk more about different aspects of this. I just encourage you to consider getting a position and getting a free funnel for us if you're not with us. Again, if the line's too long, we might not be able to get to everybody in time. So email Anna Peters right away if you're on our team. If you're already an elite member or pro member, you don't need to email us, please. We know you're an elite member and pro member, and we'll know if you're signed up and got a spot on Unifii. Okay, guys, we'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye, everybody.